All right, welcome. In light of Trump's press conference yesterday, in which case on the far left websites, they claimed that Trump was going through some insane health crisis. Not even the far left websites, the actual MSM, mainstream media. I found myself wondering, what would the great mind of Krystal Ball's take have been? What was her speculation? What was she thinking? I know she was inside giddy because they can't stop the guy, so they're hoping he stops himself. I gotta know what would Crystal think about this?
All right, guys, we've come to the most important story of the day, the questions swirling around President Trump's health. So we can go ahead and put these pictures up on the screen. President Trump has not spoken to in front of a camera in, I believe it's 6 days at this point.
6 days, everybody. 6 days. Again, this was prior. This is a little dated. Trump spoke yesterday, obviously. 6 days. Was anybody asking for Biden to speak when he was gone for 6 months at a time? Was anybody asking for Biden to speak when he was in his basement during campaign season? Was there any questions other than what's your favorite kind of ice cream? You like chocolate or do you like chocolate chip? You like cookie dough, Mr. President? None of these questions were asked by Krystal Ball then. So we're going to get this pic that looks like it was taken through a telescope of Trump, from a distance and speculate on that. These people are nuts, man.
We've only caught these glimpses of him going to and from his golf courses. Okay. I think we can all say in both of these photos, he looks like shit. Okay. Can we go back to the first one again? We can see his look on his face is very Brandon esque. It's the mouth agape. You can see, the skin is sagging. The makeup is not.
So we're going to go at a nearly 80-year-old man who is going to and from a golf course. If he played those holes, I don't know if you realize how taxing it is to play a round of golf. Like, it's insane, especially in Florida.
Properly applied. There's no hair visible for some reason. People are like zooming in and enhancing this in all kinds of ways. So, like, he looks bad here. Okay. And this is basically the only glimpse that we've gotten of him. Then they said, okay, well, he's fine. He's going golfing. Okay. Well, the press pool that was with him were kept from being able to see him on the golf course. They were made to wait on the tennis course. So they didn't actually get to see any of him golfing. There are no pictures of him golfing. This is all we've got. Okay. Then they posted photos of him, put C2 up on the screen. They posted these photos of him, or he posted them on his True Social account. Great playing golf with John Gruden, really nice guy and a true character. Wearing, by the way, a very similar outfit to the one he wore when he was allegedly playing golf. This is an old photo. This was taken on August 23rd, and they seem to hold it out like this was a new photo. This is the part, soccer, where this is the first time I was like, maybe they're.
So you're telling me you never have stuff set to publish at a later date? Never. You never go through your phone. You're like, oh, this one looks good. How come I never posted that? Boom, put it on there. You never done that, Crystal? Looks like shit. He must be dying. That's your claim. What was her response to this? Did she respond to this?
Is something going on here. We can put C3 up on the screen. It's a Newsweek article about some of the theories and speculation here. They mentioned too the week-old photo and how that raised eyebrows amid health speculation. Of course, we already had those bruising on his hands that he's been trying to hide and trying to cover up. We all know about the cankles and the way that they've been, the way they address that and the way he's been trying to hide those cankles as well. So we're already some swirling speculation. Then he disappears. Then we get these photos where he looks like absolute shit. Then he goes to the golf course allegedly, and there are no photos of him playing. And they post this week-old photo and claim that this is like, trying to portray this like a new photo. And Sagar, there were other MAGA influencers like Charlie Kirk and the like, who are close with the White House, who are posting other golf videos that were, again, I think meant to portray that these were recent and, oh, here he is being viral and active and all of this, that also were all old. So it's really weird. And then last night, there was a lot of fever pitch of
Look at her face. Look at this woman's face. She is giddy. She's in there. She's glowing. This is the happiest she's been since Kamala was defeated. Well, of course, she thought Kamala was going to win that night in a landslide. That's why I say, since prior to Kamala's defeat, when she still had hope in her heart, this is the happiest she's been. Making fun of a nearly 80-year-old man's cankles. Krystal, what are you going to look like at 80? How much work are you going to get done? More than Trump? Are we supposed to make fun of your cankles when you're pushing 80? Are we going to let you be? Are you going to be out in the public? You going to be doing this? You going to be filming like that? I find it hard to believe.
Speculation because they closed all of the roads around Walter Reed Hospital here in DC. And when I checked this morning, they were still closed. They turned, I saw one report, I didn't confirm this one. The roads closed, I looked up on Apple Maps and that was true. They allegedly also turned off one of the like highway cameras that was nearby Walter Reed, and the Domino's pizza tracker around the White House and the Pentagon and Walter Reed all was spiking. Okay. And we got this news that there was going to be, there's nothing on the president's schedule until 2 p.m. when he was making some unspecified announcement. Now, we have since then received word that the announcement is going to be changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War.
She's excited.
War, embracing the Department of War here, whatever. So that's supposedly what's happening at 2 p.m. But what do you think of all of these happening?
I think a lot of people are having a lot of fun on the internet. So let's.
Thank you. Very realistic, down to earth type of response. Let's see where he goes though, because Sagar, his tongue is tied by Krystal. He can't really step too far out of line. We've seen that. He's got to toe the line pretty heavily. You should go independent, Sagar, because the show's holding you back, man.
Go. And by the way, again, I think it's fine to have fun, but let's talk about it. So the 6 days thing, that was a three. And by the way, I don't care if Trump is sick or not. If he was, I'm sure, of course, they should be transparent about it. He spoke for 3.5 hours on camera. Reagan Reese of the Daily Caller interviewed him for over an hour and a half on Friday. He's always been old and frankly unseemly when not in a suit. By the way, that's the power of the suit. That's why you should always wear one. Also, why you shouldn't wear a hat, because it's not exactly flattering to the brow line. But yeah, I mean, just looking at all this stuff, I think he's probably just as sick as he was whenever he had the bruises on his hands and his cankles. So is the White House being fully transparent about his health? Almost certainly not, especially with the hands. I definitely think some weird stuff is going on there. But yeah, I think a lot of people are having too much fun on the internet. Like, for example, I get how the framing of the golf.
Your co-host, sir. Your co-host your co-host is giddy. Like, for the love of God, will this dude just call her out? Like, relax, relax. The guy is a machine. He speaks for hours at a time, off the cuff. Off the cuff, Krystal. Dial it back. Y'all are the party that's against ageism.
Golf course, like, oh my God, the press didn't see him on the golf course. Guys, I went with Trump to the golf course, unfortunately. I was stuck in a restaurant. I didn't see him once. I was literally in the motorcade. It's pretty much basic standard. When the president goes to the golf course on the weekend, they don't allow the press in. 90% of the time, the photos that get released are from the White House. I do agree that the week-old photo stuff and all of that looks, quote, bad, in the context of all of this. And I would be happy to eat my words if it comes out, today or whatever, that he is sick, but I just don't see it. I don't see any of this stuff. For example, okay, let's put the next one up here.
It's weird to have no Labor Day event stuff too.
I don't know if that's
president,
true.
It is weird for a president who's supposed to be like working class, blah blah blah.
Krystal, he spends all of his time golfing. And when he was president the first time, every Thursday, flight to Mar-a-Lago, Sunday night back to Washington. Like,
but here's the thing.
I just think a lot of this is just fever pitch, like brain dead.
Okay, probably, but
yeah.
You have to admit it's weird. Okay, there was all this speculation, like I'm going to say like Friday, that he was actually dead. There was all this speculation online.
Again, I'm not even going to feed into this any further. Unfortunately, they did not record today Krystal's, upset reaction to what became of this. So, Krystal, you suck.